Okay, so for my Frankenstein final project, I chose to focus on the pursuit of knowledge. And my theme statement is one's infatuation with their dreams and desires can lead to their own self destruction. So I wanted to kind of encompass that through my visual representation. So this is Victor, and I chose to do this like in black and white, mainly for the background and his face to kind of just show like how he's empty. And then we have his brain, which is all colorful because that represents like his ambition and his creativity and like his drive to discover these new things. And his brain, if you can tell, is kind of like dripping into just a pool of nothing. Like he's literally destroying himself through this pursuit of knowledge. So yeah, that's how I chose to illustrate that. And now I'm going to go into my quotations. So the first one is from chapter 4, paragraph 3. And he says, in my education, my father had taken the greatest precautions that my mind should be impressed with no supernatural horrors. I did not ever remember to have trembled at a tale of superstition or to have feared the apparition of a spirit. Now, this is right at the beginning of when Victor's starting to kind of discover supernatural science and things like that. And he's really kind of getting into it. And we see that Victor's father chose to keep Victor in the dark regarding all things supernatural, although Victor did not obey his wishes, which we now know. His father describes the supernatural to be horrors, and I think that this is what prompted Victor, honestly. His father's disapproval honestly probably made him want to pursue this more. This aspect of disapproval is important to the development of Victor's character because by pursuing this new science, he's putting a wedge between him and his father's relationship. They're drifting, and this is putting some tension and resistance between them. And that's also important as we see how he becomes socially isolated in the future. I feel like this kind of like begins that because now he's like losing family support, which is normally like an unwavering support system that you have. And now he's like kind of losing that. Although Victor's father does not stop him, he warns him of the dark hole of knowledge that Victor is about to enter into. And throughout the book, we kind of see how he loses himself. My second quotation is from chapter 4, paragraph 9. So my limbs now tremble and my eyes swim with a remembrance, but then a restlessness of almost frantic impulse urges me forward. I seem to have lost all soul or sensation, but for this one pursuit. So at this point, Victor cannot bear any more knowledge. The more he learns, the more ill he becomes, both physically and mentally. And the closer he gets to greatness, achieving that goal and that discovery, the further he falls if he fails. So the higher the stakes get as he continues this pursuit of knowledge and goes deeper into this dark hole. There's almost no way out now. The reader, us, starts to see his humanity fade when he says that he lost all soul or sensation, but for this one pursuit. All of his human-like needs and desires are completely out the window at this point. He's so focused, blinders on, blocking out his surroundings. And for Victor, like his entire existence revolves around like this one thing, like bringing these limbs and these things to life. In a way, I think that like Victor can't stop at this point. Like I said, he's so deep down this path that there's no point of return at this point. And then what began kind of as a curiosity and claim to fame has turned quite literally into a death sentence. And now he's too far gone to reverse the damage he's done. My final quotation is from chapter 4, paragraph 6, where he says, learn from me, if not by my precepts, at least by my example, how dangerous is the acquisition of knowledge, and how much happier that man is who believes his native town to be the world than he who aspires to become greater than his nature will allow. So this kind of is a point of reflection where he's kind of taking a step back and really seeing like what this pursuit has done to him both mentally and physically and how he's losing it. This account serves as a token of reflection. The word dangerous has multiple meanings in this case. First of all, bringing dead human remnants back to life is not a safe practice. And in the process of giving the creature life, Victor could have been seriously injured. That's another thing to take into account. On the other hand, the pursuit of knowledge is dangerous in regards to like Victor's mental state. It is evident that Victor was in a grotesque, unkept, malnourished state of being. And now he's looking back and wonders if this was all worth it. Like going through all that trouble and all of that pain and suffering is worth this outcome. He wasn't even pleased with the outcome, like I just said. When he says native town to be the world, he encourages one to stick to what they know. This kind of ties into how sometimes ignorance is bliss. And if Victor would have been better off if he just wouldn't have pursued this passion and obeyed his father and just gone on with, oh, okay, like maybe I should stay away from that, because his father just was like, this isn't worth your time. Or would Victor live the rest of his life wondering what he could have achieved and discovered? And then that curiosity could have also just been the death of him too. So just to wrap it up, I feel like those three quotes kind of encompass how Victor saw that claim to fame and discovery and had all of these dreams and desires, and he was so infatuated and so focused that they quite literally destroyed him. And as we know, ultimately killed him. And he became so mentally and physically ill and got so sick and so deprived of that support too, that he just crumbled. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.